Hi everybody, it's bankai 922. Um, guys didn't check it out, and the ones who missed it, um, I apologize. Oh, feather here. Um, the verses I did with Zoro Fanboy and all those guys. So yeah, I uploaded that, and you guys go check that out. Okay, Bleach review. Wow. This one was I don't want to say a mixed bag. This one was pretty interesting. Zero Squad. Fucking A. Fucking A, yes. Finally! Finally, fucking Kubo! Show the Zero Squad. Oh, come on, man. It's like, come on. You gotta show the Zero Squad. But, their appearance was, to say the least, interesting. The beginning part of the chapter. We had them. I'm not sure if it's the Zero Squad we see in the first page of this chapter, or it's the regular captains. But I think no. I think it is the Zero Squad we see, and they say to each other, "Let's see, are they coming here?" And it says the soldiers. And like I said, this is review 516. And yeah, that's the soldiers. Captain swore to protect Soul Society once again. Meanwhile, something weird happens to Ichigo's Zanpakuto. So let's get into this summary. That's basically what happens in the beginning. Then we have a conversation between, and obviously, I apologize. Last week I had said, oh yeah, maybe Mayuri will say something about Ichigo's father, but no, that's not what happened. Mayuri's basically telling Ichigo that more or less, if your bankai, if your Zanpakuto is broken in bankai form, you're fucked. And the long and short of it, he says, and Mayuri's saying, oh, I didn't fix it, I remodeled it. And he's saying that you need the owner's Rosetsu to fix the sword. You pour it in the sword. So then he's saying, like, oh, I'll go home and fix it myself. Well then, listen until the end. We're currently talking about that Shikai. If it breaks during the bankai and not the Shikai, it's a whole different matter. A broken bankai never goes back to how it was. And then Mayuri's basically saying an exception. There are exceptions to this rule. For example, he goes into talking about Kumamoto's bankai, how with Kumamoto's Kyokojo Tengenmyo, that his bankai was so strongly bound to each other that, it didn't. And that's basically what happens. And he's saying that, oh, the owner is healed, the Zanpakuto revives as well. And he knows the bankai of every person, every soul. And that's a word, and before I continue with the summary, that's a word that was used in this chapter a few times. Soldier. Huh. I don't know if that means anything, but maybe Kubo's trying to tell us something. Like I said, I don't know. Because in the beginning part of the chapter, soldier. During later on in the chapter, I think it's Shungsui, he says soldier. Here, Mayuri's talking to Ichigo, he says, oh, I have the bankais of every soldier. I don't know about you guys, but I say symbolism. That's what I say. But anyway, moving on. And then he's saying how different thing, and he's giving examples to Ichigo of people's bankais that were destroyed. And he says how about Igaku. For Igaku, basically when his bankai was destroyed, this was This was when he fought Enrad Lonios. That was the guy from the Iranka arc. Akon was able to put it together somehow. But still, it isn't as powerful as it used to be. And then he starts talking about, what about Renji's bankai? And then Mayuri's saying, oh, have you ever counted how many blades are on his bankai? And he's telling him, since that time, they're still broken. The blades, and he's saying, the blades of Hiyori Zanbama were destroyed by Byakukushi are still broken since that time. So, and then he's like saying, well, then what should I do? And then, just when he's about to ask him that question, this huge thing coming saying, God, my grand, get out of the way, and it hits Ichigo. Take a wild fucking guess who bumped into Ichigo. This had me saying, what the fuck? Kon! Kon! Everybody's like, where's Kon? Where's Kon? Kon shows up out of nowhere! And I'm like, no, it can't be. It can't be Kon. I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, holy shit. Kon is standing right in front of Ichigo with this buff. I'm talking like he looks like the Hulk. Like, he's ready to say, Kon smash! That's what he looks like. I was like, what the fuck? And he's right in front of Ichigo saying, you know, who are you? It's been a long time, so you don't recognize me. This is this cute face and this cute face. I'm the kid. You know what's so funny? The translation, I might be hallucinating with the translations on manga here, Manga Panda. But he says, I'm the king of New York? What? That might be, I might have to go on Manga Stream to read this chapter again. Because he says, I'm the king of New York. In other words, Kon-sama. Yes. Don't talk my feelings. And then, just when he's about to talk to Ichigo, Mayuri presses this button and he turns smaller, as if nothing happened. And after that happens, Mayuri gets a call and saying that the Zero Division is here. He says, come with me, Ichigo, because you should meet them, though I'm definitely not happy to. And it just says title page, Squad Zero. And it says the calm before the storm. Now, after that, all the captains are standing around. And Hirako looks at Ichigo and he's like, oh, you're here? He says, you're here to watch? I don't really recommend it. I'm confused by that comment. There were a lot of things in this chapter, like I said, that were interesting. But that comment by Hirako made me like this. What do you mean? You don't recommend it? Because that tells me when the Zero Squad shows up during this moment, they're going to say something to Ichigo. To some extent. So, that's what Shinji says. And, you know, and then Ichigo's like asking questions, where do they usually stay, and the Palace of the Soul Kings. And Shungsui's basically telling him that there's been a lot of trouble with the wall of Serite the whole time. But originally it was only meant to come down during emergency situations. So, if that wall only protects Serite during emergencies, what is it usually protecting? Look, they're coming. They are coming. And there's this huge fucking pillar comes out of the fucking sky. And he feels like, this is. And it's called Tenshurin. Tenshurin. It's the Zero Division's means of transportation, and says they're all in there. And once again, this another mention of the word soldier. Soldier was mentioned in this chapter 3 times. Wait. Yeah. It was mentioned in the beginning. The Zero Squad mentioned it. They said, oh, where are they? The soldiers. Mayuri mentioned, I have every bankai. The bankais of all the soldiers. And Ichigo, and in Shang-Chi's telling Ichigo, Zero Squads have no soldiers. Mentioned 3 times in this chapter. I don't know about you guys, but that tells me thumbs up here, Kubo. I see what you're doing, man. I'm not blind. I see it. There's symbolism there. I don't know what it means, but it means something crazy. So, Shang-Chi's basically saying the Zero Division has no soldiers. All 5 members are captains. And their total power surpasses the power of all the 13 divisions together. Now, this is the reveal, man. This is the big fucking reveal of the Zero Squad. Personally, I thought most of these people weren't going to look the way they looked. I was actually surprised what the Zero Squad looked like. 5 captains. As a Zero Squad, just 5 captains. That's it. Now, rating. I'll give this a 4. I should give it a 5, but next week's probably going to be higher. Next week's chapter rating is probably going to be higher because we're going to find out, their names and their abilities and all this other shit. Now, the way they look weird. And I'm going to start. I just need to give. There are a lot of things happening in this chapter that I want to briefly go on. The mention of soldier 3 times. The fact that Ichigo's Zanbakuto now is broken, and Mayuri's telling him it's never going to be the same again with his bankai. And, I should say Kon, but that's not really relevant. I don't know how much relevant that is that we see Kon. And what Shinji told Ichigo. Hirako. And of course the kicker of the kicks, the Zero Squad themselves. From right to left, these captains of the Zero Squad are, the design for them are weird. It's like, the far right, you got this guy with like big lips and teeth and his sunglasses kind of thing, so smiling like that. From him on, from right to left, you have a girl. She looks very, with like a fan in her hair. Very, she reminds me, of, she looks a little bit like the one from Afro Samurai. Just putting it out there. The guy in the middle? Oh my god. Beard to be feared. Just thick fucking beard. Then from him on, you got another guy. Looks like he belongs in the Yakuza. With that long, and a fat chick. This looks like Freak Bizarro. I'm sorry, but they look so weird. But we are talking about 5 captains here. So, a lot of things to digest, but I will say this was a very good chapter of Bleach. Finally get to see these Zero Squad guys, and next week, they're gonna find out a lot of things about them. Truth be told, I think the woman on the far right that we see in this panel, and I'll put the thumbnail is going to be this panel probably. um, is going to be the one from. She might be the one that went from Squad 12. Yeah, I think that's who that is. So, that's the story. Now, overall, like I said, good. But these are the things I'm going to drop into you guys. What are your thoughts on what Shinji told Ichigo? That's number one. And what the Zero Squad looks like. What Mayuri told Ichigo. The whole situation there. Kon. That was put there for no reason at all. Kon's like, I'm the king of New York. I'm like, what? King of New York? Yeah. But anyway, good chapter of Bleach. I want to see. Next week's going to be big. Next week's going to be huge. We see find out the abilities of these guys. We see what the story is with them. So, next week's huge. But, yeah. Squad 0 from the motherfucking win, and Kon. I will see you guys later.